Good.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be, and welcome to a extra interview of Final Cut. And today I am joined by a lady who, as far as British TV goes, she's pretty much done just about everything. So, ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you actress Anna Wilson-Jones.
Hello.
So firstly, how are you?
Very well, thank you. Yeah, not bad.
Glad. How did you get started out in acting?
Well, as a child, I was very, very shy, actually. And I used to get really sort of almost like a purpley red rash while I was talking to anyone at all, sort of in any kind of anyone other than my family. And so I think my mum thought she'd send me to drama classes to give me a bit of confidence. And so I think I was about 12 or something, 13 like that. So then I did Woking Youth Theatre, and then after that I did National Youth Theatre, and then I actually wanted to be a doctor, so did a bit of medicine, did law degree, and then I thought I'd like to be an actor. So it wasn't really not the typical route.
All right, since you trained to be a doctor, have you done the old Star Trek, I'm a doctor, not like say an engineer or bricklayer or anything like that?
What's that? What's that? So
in the old season of Star Trek, where you had Leonard McCoy, brilliantly played by DeForest
Oh.
Gilliam. Yeah, he always used to say, "I'm a doctor, not an engineer," or "I'm a doctor, not a bricklayer," or anything like that. Have you ever done that?
No, I haven't said that.
If I ever did do a bit of acting, that would be my number one dream, just to say that I'm a doctor, not an engineer or anything like that on film. That would be my number one dream.
So yeah, I would just be like to anything to do with sort of space, or I've never done anything like that. So things like all those sort of Star Trek-y, anything a bit like that, I'd love to do that, but they don't come my way very often.
Change of pace is always good for you.
Yeah, true.
All right, then. We mentioned. Oh, by the way, I was also shy when I was younger, so I know exactly how you feel.
Yeah, I still get nervous before any kind of auditions or anything. It's really irritating. That's the only good thing about auditions on a Zoom; they can't see your legs shake.
No, I get nervous just before an interview. So again, I know how you feel. Right. So obviously, who were your influences growing up?
Yeah, I was thinking about this. I mean, I tend to be kind of more. I mean, definitely more influenced by as a teenager and that sort of thing by musicians, as opposed to any actors particularly. Like, I mean, my sort of heroes or heroines are people like David Bowie, Madonna, you know, people like that. But I used to admire Jonathan Miller very much because he was a doctor and then he directed opera and all of that sort of thing. But yeah, I kind of never had any. Oh, I loved Rupert Everett. I love Another Country. I remember, yeah, you know, that kind of one of those sort of things that you saw in the 80s. I think lots of those things when you're a teenager and you see those films, those things on TV, they really stick with you during this time in your life. But yeah, but mostly more music people, I think, are the people that I've kind of looked up to. Maybe it's because it's something I really can't do. Play instruments, that is.
It's actually funny you just say things to stick with you. I'll tell you what I still miss, Richard O'Brien on the Crystal Maze.
Oh God, yeah. Well,
exactly.
Yeah, Rocky Horror Show was a really oh my gosh, that was one of those films that I just watched again and again and again and again, and went to see it live and used to dress up, and it really captured the imagination, didn't it? When was that? Like 84?
Rocky Horror. It was in the early 80s, I think. It was late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah.
I think it was when Tim Curry was on a high after he did Stephen King. Or was it before? It might have been before. Off the top of my head, I'm not entirely sure. All I know is it was in the same decade.
Oh, I love Tim Curry. Yeah, well, yeah, I don't know I haven't seen him in anything for...
I don't think he's doing very well last time I heard, but I think he's still with us, I think.
Yeah.
In fact, I'll look that up when we finish this up, actually.
Oh.
So you've done a lot of TV, but you starred in the period drama Victoria with the beautiful Jenna Louise Coleman. What was that like to film?
It sounds like such a cliche when I say this about Victoria, but it was such fun. It was just the perfect job because we all went off to live in Harrogate and then later on York, and film in a kind of big air hangar with incredible sets and amazing costumes, and just a group of really, really lovely people. And just being able to kind of be in that environment was is kind of the acting dream, if you like. Really.
Yeah.
It really was. Yeah. It's it's I don't know. Yeah, I mean, there's always rumours about it sort of going again, but I'm not sure. We'll see.
Well, this century is definitely a century of rebooting and reimagining, so it's
true.
always possible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, I mentioned your CV because it is actually quite impressive, because I've got a list here. There's Waterloo Road, Space, Monarch of the Glen, Rosemary in Time. Am I saying that right?
Which one? Monarch of the Glen?
Rosemary in Time.
Oh, Rosemary in Time. Yeah, that was
Rosemary in Time.
one of the many sort of murder mystery
Yeah.
type series that I've done. Yeah.
Yeah. There's Afterlife, Ashes to Ashes, Hotel Babylon, Black Mirror, Vera, Midsummer Murders, Afterlife, Sugar Rush. That's just to name but a few. So, which has been some of your favourite starring moments?
Oh gosh. What you didn't mention The Night Watch there, which was a TV film, and that was one of my favourite jobs because I'm a massive Sarah Waters fan, and so when you get to do a book that you've read and you absolutely loved, I love every single one of Sarah Waters' books, and that was a real kind of, for me, I just felt very proud and lucky to be doing that. God, I mean, so many. I mean, Monarch of the Glen was a kind of quite a job, early on in my career, and I've got sort of lifelong friends from that. Dawn Steele, who plays Lexi, and that is one of my great friends. And again, it was one of those ones where you go off into the beautiful castle and film there, and then we all stayed at a lodge together. And Richard Breyer's hilarious and brilliant man that he was. So yeah, gosh, it's difficult. I loved Afterlife because I love that Stephen Volk, the writer. I just think he's a genius, and I love things that are a bit unreal and mysterious, ghosts and space and monsters and things like that. So yeah.
I'm going to have to ask this because I have actually seen the episode of Black Mirror that you're in.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, that was a good one. Yeah.
It was a very weird episode for me when I was watching it. I think it was last New Year's Day. I was New Year's Eve, so I was watching it with my best mate, and I'm kind of like, who actually dreamed this up?
Well, yeah.
Just in case anybody doesn't know what I'm on about, I'm going to have to be very careful with my wording here because it does go a bit 18 rated here. It is actually a bit hard to sort of do it in PG-13 status, but if anyone's interested, I'll leave a link to that episode in the description below, just because it is so hard to word. It's better better that you watch it rather than hear a description of it.
That's one of the ones where my daughters, because obviously I've got teenage daughters, and they one of them was saying the other day, said, "Oh, everyone says you're in Black Mirror." It's like, can I watch it? And I was like,
yeah.
Maybe just wait a little bit. Wait a bit.
Wait a bit. How old are your daughters?
13 and 15.
Yeah, yeah. Wait until we're both 18.
18, yeah. There's a few of those on my CV that I have to wait till I'm 18. Yeah, till they're 18.
Yeah.
But that's Charlie Brooker. Charlie Brooker was, but that was the first one. I mean, lots of people don't know that because, of course, they're always on. Because Black Mirror is now on Netflix and is it Amazon or wherever it is? You can just get it.
I think it was Netflix.
You can watch
last time I looked. It was Netflix last time I looked.
Yeah, and it's just that it's because that was the first film that they did and the first film they filmed, and I do remember going to that meeting because I knew Otto Bathurst, the director, because he directed a thing I did called Nylon, which was this series set in New York and London, and and I thought he was joking when he told me the premise of the episode. But then when I knew it was Charlie Brooker, I was like, yeah, okay. I read Screenburn when he used to write that. He's a genius.
I haven't watched any of it since because I've been a little bit traumatized by that.
What? Oh, right. Oh,
yeah.
Well, there's amazing ones. Oh, honestly, I mean, there's some fantastic Black Mirrors. You should delve into them. They're all really different as well. So.
Now, you were also in a little TV series on Sky that I used to watch when I was a bit younger. It was called a certain, I think it was called Hex, and it actually starred a very young Michael Fassbender in it.
Yes, it did. I know.
I did watch the first season. I loved the first season in it. I absolutely loved it. I did kind of watch the second, but I don't know if it went any longer than 2 seasons. I'm not sure.
No, it just did. It just did the 2. Yeah, that was a great job actually, because that was Julian and Johnny. They were producers who had also done As If, which was another sort of teenage series that I did a couple of years before. Yes, Michael. I mean, where's he gone? You know what's happened to him? It's
yeah, it's like he started out so young. Now look at him. He's dating Alicia Vikander, I think, and starring in big blockbusters, earning Oscars.
He's a really nice man, by the way. Yeah.
Just as charming as he is in the TV series, obviously not as evil.
No.
But he is a good chap. I look forward to the day I get him on here, and I'll say, "Oh yeah, Anna Wilson-Jones says hello."
Yeah. Oh, he's very nice. He's really funny, actually. It's funny when people play. It's like Daniel Craig, who plays James Bond, I think. He was at National Youth Theatre with me, and it's funny when people that you know when you're young and they're just, you know, and then they become so
big, yeah.
So big. Yeah.
Oh, bless you.
Another nice guy.
Yep. Now, movies-wise, I believe, if my research is correct, you're in A Gift from Bob, which is the sequel to Cat Named Bob. Is there anything you can tell us about it without going into spoiler territory? And what is your role in it exactly?
Yes. So, well, it's a book, but the Gift from Bob is a book, so there's not too many spoilers in terms of people kind of know the story. But this is actually, I think they've actually named the film A Christmas Gift from Bob, and it was supposed to be released today in cinemas all over.
You're joking? Today?
UK. Today. It was supposed to be released in cinemas today, and of course,
everything's happened.
We're not allowed to go to the cinema. So it's actually I think it's going to be being released on Amazon, and then I think they hope, but in Wales and Scotland, by the way, you can still see it in the cinema because you're allowed to go there. I think it opens sometime next week, and then maybe it'll have a release sometime in Christmas. But what do I play? I play an unlikely friend of James, and it was really sad actually, because I don't know if you know that Bob, the cat, he died this year. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, because actually. It's so sad because Bob, actual Bob there's a couple of Bobs that play Bob in the Bob films, but the real Bob is there all the time and plays most of the key stuff. And I was really upset when I heard it. I think it was in June or July. I know. I know it's really, really, really sad. But it's a lovely film, and I play an unlikely sort of. I help James, played by Luke Treadaway, help him out a bit. Yeah.
I'm assuming you watched the original movie after you.
I did, yeah.
Because
amazing. I mean, because it's. Sorry, carry on.
I was about to say you look like the kind of lady, and you sound like the kind of lady who does her research beforehand.
Yes, I will. I mean, I do to a certain extent, but I also, if there's been something, a previous, like if it's a series or something and I know what's going on, but sometimes with scripts that, for example, are based on real life, is much better to just go with the script and not try and do too much research sometimes, because the script veers quite a long way away, and you have to I think you have to trust the writer of the script to a certain extent, otherwise you can bring things on board. For example, in Victoria, my character Victoria was quite different to the character that you see that Daisy wrote, and there are certain things that you can bring or not, but if you bring them without them being explained, then it might be a bit odd. But so I do, I'll definitely do a bit of research, but I don't get too hung up on it.
Yep. As an actress, do you go for certain projects straight away, or does the scripts have to interest you?
To tell you the truth, I know when I can read some scripts and go, oh my gosh, I really want to get that job, and that's always the one I don't get. Not always, but a lot of the time. I love doing all different things. There's not anything specific that I look for in a script. I I just love doing it, actually, to be fair, and I rarely turn things down. So
Yeah. I know you're a producer, but would you like to move behind the camera in any other department? Maybe director, writer, executive producer?
well, anyone that's Duncan and my husband, Duncan Rowan, my husband, Steve John Shepherd, who I have been producing things with, would probably say that I already try and do everything else behind the camera as well. Like set design, start whispering in people's ears. I'm a bit annoying like that. So I suppose I would like to direct something maybe at some point, but it's a huge burden though. I don't know if I can do the. I don't know. It's a lot easier. You think it's easier than it is. I mean, you know, when you, but yeah, I mean, I'd like to try all different things, but I think my main love is acting. I just love trying to be someone else.
Yeah, always a good thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
be a little bit outside your comfort zone and what you're used to.
Yeah.
Right, so this next bit is just a little quiz I do, or little insight, if you like. I do it with everyone I interview. So, what advice would you give someone who feels they're getting nowhere with their entertainment career and is thinking of jacking it in?
Well, I would say to them that everyone in this industry has periods where they feel like they're going nowhere, and it is hard. And if you love it, then you just keep on doing it. And when you give up, that means you've given up. You know what I mean? So my advice is keep on going as long as you want to, and know though that never take things personally. You get knockbacks all the time, and you've just got to not take it personally, because it really isn't personal. It's like, I always say this, if you read a book and you cast it, you know how you read a novel and you cast that novel and you have a discussion with 5 or 6 friends, those 5 or 6 friends will give all different answers to who they think should play which part, or who they should, you know, and that's just the nature of it. And so you walking into a room, it's just whether they people there behind the desk think that's you or not, you know, that whether you suit that character or not. And it is luck as well. There is a massive amount of luck and chance with the projects you do. You can do not get a job, or you can get a job and you think it's going to be the big break, that, you know, this everything, this amazing thing, and then it kind of just sort of goes by the wayside and no one ever sees it. It's, you know, straight to video. So it's, yeah, just have to keep on going as long as you want to. But I would say always try and do your own stuff. I wish I'd done that a bit more when I was younger, certainly. I think people are, and there's many more avenues for people to do things themselves. You can just make a film on your phone, and I would really recommend doing that kind of thing, because one, it's great for your brain, practice, and also you never know, you might get made.
If you're, well, I say this because I'm a big horror fan. I actually find that some of the best horror movies are actually done cheaply, not like in a big studio.
Yeah. Gosh, I watched The Exorcist for the first time the other day.
Joking.
Put it off, because honestly, I used to be I watched some horror films when I was very young, just because I was around a friend's house, you know, and people didn't really seem to worry about it so much then. Seeing The Omen and The Evil Dead.
This is during the video nasty period of the 80s, isn't it?
Absolute, yeah. Zombie.
Oh yeah, I did that as well.
Oh, and then I was traumatized for life, and The Exorcist was one that I literally thought I can never watch it because I'd heard so many things about it. Anyway, I watched it literally the other morning, and it's an unbelievably brilliant movie. I had no idea that it was such an incredible film, you know, and luckily I wasn't too scared.
Yeah. You want to know something else? Just now that they did a TV series as well a few years ago.
Oh right.
Yeah, I have actually I watched the first season. I think I finished watching the first season last week. It's actually got Ben Daniels in it.
Oh right. Oh nice.
Yeah. He's very different to what I last saw him in. I'll say that much. But yeah, it is actually quite a good little TV series. There's season 2 which I haven't watched yet, which I'm trying to get round to. I'd really recommend watching it. Just make sure you don't watch it in the dark.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I tell you which one really scared me, which was that when you're talking about low budget films, was Blair Witch. I literally, that one absolutely. I was on my own in the house and watched that, and I was absolutely terrified. and yet you don't even see anything. It's so bizarre. Just yeah.
Do you know what traumatized me in the 80s and 90s?
What's that?
Alien.
Ah, right.
Yeah, I watched it as an 8-year-old boy. I watched it late at night with my sister. I should point out my mum and dad didn't know I was watching it because that was one of our good traits. We were actually quite good at watching TV when they were oblivious to it.
Yeah.
I watched it when I was 8. Chespera's scene came out, traumatized me. Didn't watch that for another 20 years. And then when I watched it, I was like, why did this traumatize me?
Yeah. Oh, I love the Alien. I love that trilogy. No, how many of the 4? There's 4 of them, aren't there?
Well, it depends how much. Originally, there's a quadrilogy.
Yeah.
But they also did Alien v Predator. They did 2 of those movies. Ridley Scott's done another 2, which has just kind of basically gone a bit flat. And I don't even know what's going on with that anymore.
Right. Yeah. No, I'm just thinking of the first 4. I think that and oh gosh, John Hurt. There's someone who's I actually, if you're saying about role models, he is one of my favorite ever actors. From Quentin Crisp to 1984 to Alien. My God, I had the chance to meet him once. He was a lovely one.
Well, I was about to say, what is he like? I bet he was as nice as he literally looked like on screen half the time.
Yeah, just a really, just a really interesting man. I had a chance to, he's a friend of a friend, and had just literally a very casual dinner with him with a group of friends, and was going like, oh my God, it's John Hurt. But he was not like that. He's just, like often that lovely generation that was of actors. They've worked really hard, and it's not about sort of fame or famous. I don't know. It was different.
It's not about the money. It's not about being famous. It's just about the acting.
Yeah, absolutely. And he was flawless, I think, as an actor. Never ever saw the strings at all.
Makes me kind of sad that I'm never going to get to have an interview with him. But
I know. And also, my lovely dear friend John Sessions died last week, obviously, which was again, oh God, he did Victoria. He did the last series of Victoria.
Oh, did he?
Oh yeah, he was. Oh my gosh, I've never laughed so much as I have, I think, with him. He's the funniest, wittiest, cleverest man. Very sad. Yeah. But he left all that wonderful work behind him, so.
He left an everlasting impression.
Exactly.
Yeah. I forgot where we were now. Just talking so much, I actually lost where I was. This is a question that I'd like somebody's insight into who is actually in the film business. That's what you are, TV business. Do you think that cinemas will soon be replaced by, say, Netflix and Amazon? So nothing will be released in cinemas anymore. It'll just be like straight to Netflix, Amazon Prime, depending on who bids for it. It's kind of like the new Bond movie. They did offer it out to Apple, Netflix, and Amazon for about 800 million.
Really?
I think Apple offered about half of that, but I don't think they went for it.
No, I think we're going to come. I think in lots of ways we're going to come full circle. I think people are, especially after what's been happening this year, I think people want to be out and about, and also I think they want an experience. Once you can get everything in your own home, like you can you can get anything there, just sit in your bed and you can watch whatever you want to watch. I think there'll come a time when we're going to go full circle, almost to the extent where we're going to be going to the cinema more. I really think that. And once theatre's back again, we'll go to the theatre more, and we'll go to the cinema more, because it's such a wonderful experience. I went to the Everyman the other day because before the lockdown, because I thought, quick, we got to get a film in. I was like, oh my gosh, sitting in a beautiful cinema, I love going to the cinema. I love going to my own cinema. That's my favourite thing in the world. Just sitting in the cinema with a cup of tea and some chocolate and watching a film. I could watch anything, even if it's bad. I don't care.
I've got a few film suggestions that would happily test that theory out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'll tell you what they are in a bit. I just want to press forward through. Right. So, outside of acting, producing, and starring in just about everything that Britain has to offer. What are you passionate about? What are your interests?
What do I? Well, I love painting and drawing actually.
Artiste.
Yes, I do love. I love painting and drawing. I could get passionate about lots of things. But in my spare time, I love being in the garden. I love cycling. I love being outside. I love nature and that kind of thing. But I'm willing to try anything. Like I did a rowing course the other week because I just thought, I'm going to learn to do some rowing. So I learned to do rowing, and I love, I love just getting out there and doing things. But I love painting and drawing, and it's a nice pastime, crafts and things like that.
What would you say are your career highlights?
I think, apart from today, obviously, Dean.
Oh, bless you. Thank you very much.
Well, I actually always think if you keep carrying, I mean, actually, it's true. Like each day that goes by, and you're still sort of managing to vaguely sort of be an actor,
Yeah.
or just of any kind. I think you kind of think that's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, I should definitely say, obviously meeting my husband when I did a play with I did a play in the West End called Dangerous Corner, J.P. Priestley play, with my friend Rupert Henry Jones, and I met my husband on that. So I guess that's one of my career highlights. I managed to sort of fit in a kind of, meeting my husband and doing it at the same time in the West End, which was great.
Kill two birds with one stone on that day.
Exactly.
All right then. What have you got? Any other projects coming up in the next couple of months to a year?
Do you know what? I have no idea. I've just been doing. I think every actor's been doing this. We've just been doing so many self tapes, and I can't even remember what I'm kind of in the sort of, in the mix for at all at the moment, because I've just been churning them out. But coming up on I did Soulmates, which was one of the writers of Stranger Things, Brett Goldstein, and
oh really?
Yeah, and William. Oh gosh, what's his name? Sorry, that's terrible. I can't quickly look on my phone and try and find it. Anyway, I did a thing called Soulmate, which was like sort of future, all different films about this future test where you can find out who your real soulmate is. You do a blood test or some kind of
God, not one of these.
One of those, but it was good. But I don't know where that's coming out, but sometime. Great director Rob Savage, brilliant. So that given, so I have no idea. Actually, literally no idea what's happening next.
Shall we? All right, we'll put that. Shall we answer that to be announced or to be confirmed?
Exactly. Yeah.
That's fair enough. We'll leave that with that then. What would you like the future to hold for you on a business and a personal level?
Gosh, personal level is just, I've got 3 children, so it's just making sure that they're all happy and doing what they want to do, looking after them,
and keeping your sanity at the same time.
And keeping your sanity at the same time. Yeah, no, they are amazing and brilliant. And but career-wise, I mean, it is just literally just keeping on working. As I said, I would love to do some kind of spacey science fiction-y thing, which or a sort of Lord of the Ringsy type thing. I never get those ones. I'd love to do something like that because I'm a massive Lord of the Rings fan. So, but I do the odd computer game though, so that's always quite fun.
Oh, we have a gamer, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh no, I know I'm a terrible gamer, but I've done the voices for some games.
Oh, have you? What have you done?
I can't remember what they're called.
This is definitely your first, ladies and gentlemen.
I know. I'm so sorry. It's awful, isn't it? I did one recently. It was about. I was playing a kind of. I've probably signed an NDA. Actually, I probably can't say, it's not out yet. Anyway, I play a kind of warrior person.
Right, you can't say it. That's it. We'll move on from that.
That's the other thing.
You're not getting in trouble either.
But I do know. I love that. I was really excited when I got this computer game. I was like, yes, finally, I'm doing what it's. I mean, I like watching people playing. It's just I'm absolutely appalling with controls. I can't do my left and right at all. So rubbish.
I'm like that. My mother had a severe problem of telling her left from right, and it still sticks with me sometimes.
Yeah.
So, it seems to be this is literally an interview of I know how you feel because it happens to me. Oh yeah, one more thing about the interview. If people would find you on social media, how would they go about it?
They wouldn't be able to find my social media. I don't. That's kind of one of the things I sort of love. All the stuff that's around now that you can just go listen to podcasts and do those things. But I'm not a social media fan particularly. But I probably need to get with it actually and set up some kind of Instagram account or something and post photographs of my dog. But I haven't got that yet, so I haven't got any kind of social media presence at all. But I will do at some point in the future.
If I may give you a few tips, avoid Twitter. Do an Instagram. I'd avoid Facebook because I don't really use it that much.
Yeah, never had any of those.
Yeah, don't have Twitter because Twitter can be quite toxic at times. I mean, Ed Sheeran left Twitter for a while because it's just such a. It's not. I mean, to be brutally honest, it's not been so bad when I've been on it, but as in a whole, Twitter can be quite toxic.
Well, I think I think what we I was talking about this the other day because I'm very aware with teenage daughter and I've got a younger boy, but you know that I'm very wary of all of that because you don't. You're faceless. No one knows who you are. You could have any old name. You can say anything you like, and it gives people the freedom to be quite mean and horrible. Because if you're in a room with somebody, and if some of the things that were said in social media were said face to face, oh my God, you just wouldn't dream of it. Like saying ghastly, horrible personal insults to people, death threats. It's like, wow, this is kind of insane. So yeah, I'm not a fan, and of that kind of the way that it's gone, basically, the way just be. And what's it was National Kindness Day today, by the way, apparently.
Oh, is it?
So, yeah, so that's
another day.
You just be kind, like. Oh.
You've been very kind to me today, so that's your National Kindness Day sorted. I'll do a bit of a mini quiz for you. It's only a mini one. So out of all the TV and movies you've been in, which would you like to have had a bigger role in?
Oh, that's an interesting one.
I do my best.
Yeah. Christ, I'm trying. God, golly, I can't think of this. I'm just trying to think desperately now. I can't think of this. I can't think. I'm trying to think of the bigger role in. I mean, probably most of them because I'm very rarely the lead. I guess I loved doing The Mother with Roger Michell. I think he's an amazing director, and I did a few days on that film, and I love to have done more days on that film. Definitely that one. And actually with the Soulmates thing, I just did it a couple of days, and I love the director Rob Savage on that. So it was just a lovely experience working with him. And when you work with it and you just think, I wish this could carry on forever. When working's nice like that. But don't know what else. Yeah. Anyway.
We'll just say everything.
Yeah.
Go the easy way out and just say everything, right?
Yeah.
Was there any TV or movies that you'd love to have done but couldn't for whatever reason? I'll give you an example. It's the example I use every single time. Oh.
What's that?
I was going to say, did you know that Dougray Scott was meant to play Wolverine originally?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, instead of
Hugh Jackman, but he was meant to play it, but he had to go back for reshoots for Mission Impossible 2, so obviously he can't do it. They cast Hugh Jackman, and Hugh Jackman's life has been a misery ever since, particularly with Ryan Reynolds in it, which is never good for anyone's health.
No. Oh gosh, Hugh Jackman, yeah, he was in that Les Miserables. Yeah. I loved him. I know it's a bit, but I loved it. And Greatest Showman. I'm a real fan of musical films, actually, as well.
I love musicals.
So do I. And I never used to when I was little. I thought they were kind of like uncool. When I was kind of a teenager, I was like, oh no, yeah, I just don't like. And now I absolutely love a musical, and I love a musical film.
I do.
So keen on Cats, but
as long as it's decent, yes. Yeah. We'll gloss over Cats with a very fine-tooth comb.
But it's still worth watching because it was in the cinema. I was like, wow, this is so weird.
And Taylor Swift's in it, so that's more than enough.
Oh, yeah. We love Taylor Swift. Oh, and what's her name? Blonde from Bridesmaids. Not Bridesmaids. Yeah, she's in Bridesmaids. And Oh,
is it Kirsten?
Rebel Wilson.
Oh my God, no.
Don't you like her?
I hate her.
Oh no!
I hate her.
Oh, no, I love Rebel Wilson.
I hate
think
her.
she's really funny.
I can't stand her.
You haven't watched the Perfect trilogy, have you? You see,
which one?
the Pitch Perfect trilogy.
Oh, I have. Yes, I have repeatedly been forced to watch that, which I do. I will admit, I do like it.
Yeah.
But still not the biggest Rebel Wilson fan.
Okay.
So,
on the question.
Yeah. Any TV or movies that you'd love to have done but couldn't for whatever reason, because you're already filming maybe, or something else came up on the day you were supposed to start filming?
Or I just didn't get the job.
Or you could say that, yes.
Yeah.
I think I might readjust that now that you've just said that.
I can't think of one. I can't think of one offhand at all. For saying that Diggory Scott, I remember going up for a film with him. What did I do with him? And Olivia Williams got the job. I can't remember what it was. I wanted that job, but I just didn't get it.
So we're blaming Diggory Scott, aren't we?
Yeah. Yeah, no, luckily you managed to work through, like earlier this year actually I had a thing where I was doing Harlots. No, I was doing a confession for ITV, and then I was offered Harlots, and I remember they were like, oh, we can't make them work. They can't. And I was like, no, you have to. I've got to be able to do them both. And I remember that day, and we managed at the 11th hour literally to make it work. So I remember traveling from the confession set, very different to then going to the Harlot set. So I did one scene for a confession, and then I literally travelled across London and managed to quickly get into a corset and put a wig on for Harlot. So that's where it worked out, where I thought I wasn't going to be able to do it, and then I was, but yeah.
That's not an easy job getting from one side of London to the other.
No, oh my gosh, and it was literally, and I remember I really wanted to do Harlots. I was already doing confession. I really wanted to do Harlots, and I was literally like trying to say to the producers, please, come on, there must be a way. And they were like, okay, we can get a car to pick you up from here. It was probably the most sort of dynamic part of my career that's happened so far.
You should have probably got a helicopter and parachuted you out.
Yeah, if I was Tom Cruise, that was what would have happened. But unfortunately, I'm not Tom Cruise. Well, actually, maybe I'm not sure I'd want to be Tom Cruise necessarily, but he's a great actor.
To be either.
Great actor, though.
Yeah. Right. So, very last question before I bid you farewell. Unfortunately, so sad. Right. So, name me 10 or 20 actors or actresses that you haven't starred with yet in TV or movies that you would like to star with before you retire.
Oh gosh, right. Well, actually, yeah. Tom Cruise, fair enough. I would actually like to do a scene with Tom Cruise. Yeah, why not? Meryl Streep, obs.
But everyone says Meryl Streep.
Because you just want to. I just would like to, yeah. I mean, Judi Dench.
Oh,
come on,
a lovely lady.
I mean, oh gosh, no, my brain. You see, my brain goes completely. What's that?
Ryan Reynolds.
I haven't got any. I'd like to work with. I was just thinking of people that. What's his name? Kylo Ren. In Star Wars.
Adam Driver. Yeah.
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 I like him a lot as an actor. Gosh.
Daniel Radcliffe, Tom Holland, Daisy Ridley, John Boyega.
Yeah. No, Adam Driver out of the Star Wars lot, I think. I mean, Alec Guinness, obviously, if he'd been, that would have been.
Yeah. We'll count that as well, then.
There's lots of the good ones of, sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I mean, oh gosh.
Tom Hardy.
I mean, but again, not someone that I kind of like. God, I really like to work with him. I mean, I just all that comes to my head are kind of the old guys,
Yeah.
Like De Niro's and the Al Pacinos.
Yeah, you can say them. That's fine. They're still going.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, they are exactly. Yeah,
they're still going.
Those. I love comedy. Oh, Jason Bateman. Oh, I mean, love him.
He's all right. My lady does like him a lot.
He's just I love Ozark, and I love and Thingy, his wife. What's her name? in Ozark. Wonderful actress. What's her name? My brain's gone again.
I've watched it.
Oh, it's really good. It's so good. Stick with it's honestly it is, and the acting is sublime in it. It really is. Completely. Oh, Michael Palin, by the way.
Oh,
I have a.
I've not heard that name in a while.
Well, I love. That's another thing about growing up is the Monty Python. All the Monty Python people loved them, and we probably won't get to see that kind of thing anymore for a long time. I don't think you're allowed to.
I think it's a bit too much last century for this century's
Sorry,
liking.
I know exactly. They'll never. But yeah, him.
Just need one more.
I've got to say one more.
Just one more for the 10.
Give me some clues. I've completely. My brain's gone completely. I've
Marion Cotillard, Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman.
I mean, Hugh Jackman. I haven't said him. I mean, if I could be in a musical singing opposite Hugh Jackman, that would be a highlight. That would be great. Yeah. Anthony Hopkins.
Oh yeah, Sir Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah, I mean,
that's 11.
I need some more women in there, really, but that's really bad, isn't it?
Joey King.
Who?
Joey King.
Who's that?
Have you seen Welcome to a Bloom House on Amazon Prime?
No.
Well, Joey King starred in the Kissing Booth trilogy. I know there's only 2 movies out, but there is a third one coming out.
Oh, my girls love that. I haven't seen that. Yeah.
She did. Oh, what was that? She's done a Hulu series where she's got quite good reviews for. That's it. The Act.
Oh right. Oh, I haven't. Oh right. Okay. I just suddenly thought of Whoopi Goldberg there. I'd liked Whoopi Goldberg because I watched Ghost again the other day because as you do.
Yeah. You might. She's actually coming back for the next season of Star Trek Picard.
So basically I need to get in Star Trek, and then I can work with.
You only need to get into Patrick Stewart really because it's about his character about 20 years after everything else, and it's changed.
Okay.
It's a lot different than the Next Generation because I have watched it.
Okay, I'm going to try and I'm going to really attempt to do that. Get onto that then I can.
How about Sarah Michelle Gellar, David Boreanaz, Ryan Reynolds, Jodie Comer?
She's great. Yeah, do you know what though? I haven't really watched The Killing Thing, but I mean, I'm happy working with anyone. I very rarely work with someone that I didn't like. In fact, I don't think I've ever worked with somebody that I didn't like. Because even if you sort of don't necessarily, even if somebody acts a bit off on set, it's still an experience. So it's like, it's okay. You can be a diva sometimes, and I can deal with it.
Sorry, I'm just going down. I must admit, I've not really got anything in my what I'm looking at now that could help you. I'm just trying to think. Should we leave it there? Because I think we're both struggling a little bit.
Yeah, I know. It's because this is what happens when you put on this. It's the net. My brain goes completely. Then I'll go and I'll go. Oh shit! It's my favourite people, and I've completely forgotten.
It's kind of like on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire when you know the answer and you're just like, no, it's gone. It's gone.
Yeah.
You don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Then. And on that struggle, ladies and gentlemen, I give you British TV veteran Anna Wilson-Jones. Thank you very much for coming.
Very old.